Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today, I wanted to get on and talk about this, again, as I often do, about how we feel about ourselves and how that dictates our behaviors and our actions and our relationships, right? So, when you ask a lot of women, if they think they're sexy, often the answer I get is no. And when I ask why, the answers are usually around, their body, right? I don't look a certain way. I don't have certain attributes. I don't have this shape or that shape or whatever. And I don't feel pretty. I don't feel beautiful. And therefore I don't feel sexy. And it's really sad that so many women feel this way. And I know that I've felt this way in the past. And, because I've done the roller coaster with my weight my entire adult life, right? I've struggled with keeping my weight at a certain level. And so there were times, especially in my younger adulthood, where I didn't feel sexy because I was carrying more weight. And no matter what Donnie said to me, there was nothing that he could say that would convince me otherwise. And so when I think of that, I also need to recognize that I'm now in a place where even if he said the opposite, it would not affect how I feel about myself. So I've actually flipped it, right? There was a time when Donnie would tell me that he thought I was sexy and that he wanted to be with me. He wanted to be intimate with me, and I didn't feel sexy in my own body. And so I really had a hard time wanting to engage in that way. And that was something I had to kind of work through myself, right? Because again, there was nothing he could have said or done that would have changed that view I had about myself. And I feel sad thinking back on that, about like how many times in my life I felt unattractive and therefore didn't feel sexy in my own skin. And I felt envious of other women who just seemed to be very free and very embodied and confident, and I wanted that for myself, and I thought that if I lost weight that I would get that. And here's the thing, we know that there's so many contributing factors to having a low libido and having the belief in yourself that you're not sexy. So it really, to try to tie it to just, weight is overlooking all of the other underlying reasons, right? And I've talked about those in other videos where, your relationship dynamic, your physical health, your mental health, what meds you're on, your hormone levels, like all of those things contribute to, either lowering or eliminating your libido, right? So we have to look at the whole picture. And so usually when I see clients, it's because they've done that work of figuring out if it's other issues. They've talked to their doctor, they've had some tests done, they've, explored different avenues. Maybe they've changed their lifestyle and diet. Maybe they've done all of the things. Maybe they've switched meds to something different, right? So then they come to me because they realize that it's not those things, or if if some of those things were contributing and were made better by changes in lifestyle, changes in meds, that sort of thing, and still they're feeling that lack of confidence in themselves, that's when I see them, right? Because if you haven't done any exploration and coming to see me what we might uncover is that you need to do some exploration and you need to look at other things. But the underlying issue of why don't you feel sexy often does relate back or relate to a deeper issue, right? Because there have been times when I've felt sexy and there have been times when I've not felt sexy, and those didn't always correlate to my weight. They might have, been a result of what was going on in our family, in our relationship, what was going on for me health-wise. And when I addressed those issues, there was some relief, there was some change, there was a healthier me. However, I still wasn't getting to the root of why I didn't feel sexy. Because being sexual and feeling sexy can often be two different things, right? You can go through the motions and still not really, really embody that sense of worthiness and an openness to the pleasure, right? There's still going to be a part of you that's holding back. So it's, this loop that you can get caught in. I don't feel sexy, therefore I'm not fully embodied. I'm not present as much as I could be during my experiences with myself or with a partner. And you just keep going around and around in this loop. So how do we break that loop? We need to address what's really underlying those feelings, because it's probably not just that you don't feel sexy. It's that you don't feel confident. You don't feel comfortable in your own skin. You don't feel worthy of pleasure. You have beliefs about yourself and your body. All of those things, past traumas, like all of those things contribute. And in amongst those things is probably the root cause of why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, right? So hopefully this makes sense. And if you're feeling like you don't have the sense of embodiment and connection to yourself in a way that helps you to feel like, no matter what is going on with your physical body, because let's face it, I mean, we're all changing, we're all aging. Things are going to, slide. Things are going to expand. Things are going to look, different. And if you can't feel comfortable in your own skin where you are right now in your life, that's not going to get better until we address that, right? So if we want to feel more sexy, we need to really connect to ourselves in a way that is compassionate and loving and accepting. And that's really where the work lies, is getting to that place. And the way that we get there is by unraveling that knot that's holding all of those feelings of being unworthy, unsexy, unlovable, not enough, all of that in a tight little ball. We release that. And then there's room and space for self-love, compassion, acceptance, embodiment, enjoyment, fulfillment, all of that, right? So we need to do the work to get to that place. But the great thing is that we can do that work in 1 or 2 sessions. This doesn't have to be a lifelong journey. We can take care of that root cause. We can unravel that knot, and then the room for growth is limitless, right? From there, it's just wide open. So if you'd like to know more, if you'd like to maybe to have a chat about what's going on for you and why you're not feeling, as confident as you'd like to feel in your life and in your body, then let's chat. Reach out. Thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.